Hello everybody, Vibes of a Wildlife here. Welcome to another video where we dive into the heart, humor, and unexpected life lessons from the animal kingdom. You post like a flamingo, dress like a fox, but your spirit? It's giving wise old owl energy. And hey, no shade, owls are cool. But you see what I'm saying, right? We all have this vibe we project to the world, the aesthetic animal, if you will. It's curated, polished, maybe even sparkly. It's the animal you think people expect you to be, or the one that looks good on a tote bag. But then, there's your spirit animal. The one that doesn't care about filters, fashion, or external validation. It just is. It's the soul level you, the one that moves through life when no one's watching. So here's the question. Are your two animals vibing in harmony, or are they beefing behind the scenes? Because let's be honest, trying to live like a hummingbird when your soul's a tortoise is exhausting. Before we dive in, if you're into animals with attitude, nature with a side of personality, and soul talk without the fluff, go ahead and hit like, share this with your animal-loving crew, and subscribe. Consider it your way of throwing snacks to your inner spirit guide. Alright, let's figure out if you're living your truth, or just looking the part. So let's talk about your aesthetic animal, aka the one that shows up when you're feeling yourself, curating your life like it's a Pinterest board with a heartbeat. Your aesthetic animal is all about the vibe. It's the creature you channel when you're stepping out, posting selfies, or manifesting your dream life in a journal that smells like eucalyptus. It's not necessarily who you are deep down, but it's definitely who you like people to think you are. Maybe you're a peacock, loud, proud, and color coordinated. You walk into a room and no eyes are on you, and honestly, you like it that way. Or maybe you're more of a swan, effortless grace, calm on the surface, even if you're paddling like crazy underneath. People think you float through life with herbal tea in one hand and perfect posture in the other. Then there's the cheetah vibe. You move fast, dress sharp, and live like you've got a personal stylist and a limited time offer to conquer the world. These animals aren't random. They're the ones that show up on your vision board, in your saved Instagram posts, or in the way you choose your wardrobe. They're aspirational, polished, and sometimes curated within an inch of their lives. And that's okay. We all have an aesthetic. It's part of how we express ourselves. But the question is it the real you, or just your highlight reel in animal form? Because let's be real. Sometimes we dress like a swan, but deep down, we're more raccoon in a hoodie. And that's not a bad thing. Now let's talk about your spirit animal. Not the one that shows up when you're in selfie mode, but the one that shows up when life gets real. You know, that quiet little inner creature who's been riding shotgun with your soul this whole time. Your spirit animal is less about the aesthetics and more about energy. It's the animal that mirrors your core personality, your patterns, your instincts. The one that knows how you react when things get hard, or when no one's around to impress. It's the symbolic guide of your inner world. And yeah, sometimes it calls you out. Think wolf, not the brooding lone wolf cliche, but a deep feeler, loyal, protective. Moves with instinct, not trends. A wolf won't always be the flashiest in the room, but it knows the room. Then there's the owl, sharp, observant, never in a rush to speak, but always 2 steps ahead. That energy doesn't scream for attention, but when it speaks, people listen. Or maybe you're more deer than you'd like to admit. Soft but strong, tuned into emotions, drawn toward peace, but not afraid to bolt when your boundaries are crossed. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. The thing is, your spirit animal doesn't always match your Instagram grid. It might not look cool in a trendy tattoo it on your wrist kind of way, but it feels like home. It's the one that gets you through the weird seasons of life. And yeah, sometimes it's less majestic eagle and more suspicious raccoon. And you know what? That raccoon has survived some stuff. So while your aesthetic animal might get the likes, your spirit animal's the one making the real decisions. The question is, are you listening to it? Now here's where things get a little messy. Let's talk about the vibe clash. When your aesthetic animal and your spirit animal are not even close to being on the same page. Like, maybe you've branded yourself as a panther. All sleek black outfits, mysterious energy, always in control. But deep down, you're a sloth. You like naps. You need time to think. You hate rushing, and honestly, pants with buttons feel aggressive. So you're out here panthering through life, wondering why you're exhausted 24/7. Spoiler, it's because your soul wants to move at 0.3 miles per hour, and you keep dragging it into hustle culture. Or maybe you're living your best flamingo life. Bright colors, bubbly personality, always out with friends. But inside, you're a mole. You crave quiet, you love your alone time, and you feel most alive when you're digging deep, not dancing on tables. It's like wearing glitter when your heart wants earth tones. When your outer vibe and inner essence don't match, life starts to feel like a bad costume party. You're constantly burnt out because you're performing instead of just existing. You feel misunderstood, not because people don't get you, but because you've been showing them someone you're not. And you catch yourself thinking, why don't I feel like me? Even though you're doing everything right. Dressing the part, playing the role, posting the quotes. The thing is, you're not broken. You're just tired of shape-shifting into something shiny that doesn't feel true. And once you start listening to the animal that's been quietly nudging you from the background, game changer. Now, when your aesthetic animal and your spirit animal actually line up, relief. That's when you're operating at full power. Like main character energy, but make it soulful. It's rare, but when it happens, it's magnetic. You're not trying to be a vibe, you are the vibe. That's fierce authenticity. That's alignment. That's when people say things like, I don't know what it is about you, but you've got something. Yeah, that something is you living in sync with your inner animal. Take the tiger, for example. If your aesthetic is tiger, bold, strong, a little untouchable, and your spirit animal is also tiger, you're not pretending to be fearless. You are fearless. You walk in with that steady, powerful confidence that makes people straighten their posture without even realizing it. Or maybe you're a hummingbird, aesthetic and spirit both. You move through life with lightness, curiosity, joy. You're vibrant, fast-thinking, and full of energy, and none of it feels forced. That's the sweet spot. You attract opportunities, friendships, and situations that actually fit because you're showing up as your full, unfiltered self. And look, it doesn't mean you're perfect or that life suddenly becomes a montage set to indie folk music. But when your outer vibe matches your inner truth, things just click. You're not wasting energy keeping up a facade. You're not second-guessing every decision. You're living like the animal you were always meant to be. And trust me, people feel that, even before you say a word. Alright, so how do you actually find your true spirit animal? I mean, it's not like one just shows up at your doorstep with a name tag like, "Hi, I'm your inner wombat." Though honestly, that would be iconic. Finding your spirit animal takes a little reflection. Nothing too heavy, just enough to get past the surface stuff. Think of it like checking in with your inner nature guide instead of your outer fashion icon. Here's a mini quiz to get things rolling. First up, what animal do you dream about or feel weirdly drawn to? Not the one that looks good on a phone case, but the one that keeps showing up in your life. Maybe it's a fox that always crosses your path, or a whale you can't stop watching documentaries about. There's usually a reason that animal keeps tapping on your subconscious. Next, what traits describe you when no one's watching? Like truly. Are you calm and observant like an owl? Loyal and protective like a wolf? A little chaotic but deeply intuitive like a raccoon? That unfiltered version of you? That's where the spirit animal hangs out. And then ask yourself this: what kind of challenges keep coming back into your life? And what animal would survive those like a boss? If you're always adapting and bouncing back, you might be rocking a possum energy. If you hold your ground under pressure, you could be channeling a bear. Spirit animals don't show up because life's cute. They show up to help you get through it. Now, if you're still not sure, here are a few go-to spirit animals and their vibes. Wolf, independent, intuitive, fiercely loyal. Affirmation: I trust my instincts and protect my pack. Owl, observant, wise, sees the truth even in the dark. Affirmation: I find clarity in quiet moments. Elephant, gentle but strong, emotionally intelligent, carries deep memory. Affirmation: I honor my past but walk forward with grace. Panther, mysterious, powerful, thrives in solitude. Affirmation: my strength doesn't need to be loud to be real. Hummingbird, lighthearted, joyful, moves through life with curiosity. Affirmation: I find sweetness in the small things. The trick is not to pick the one that sounds the coolest. Pick the one that feels like home, even if it's not who you usually present to the world. That's your spirit animal doing its subtle little shoulder tap. Don't ignore it. That's your real vibe calling. Final thoughts? Wear the feathers, absolutely. But don't forget to channel the soul too. You can look like a peacock all day long, strut your stuff, make it fashion, but still move through life with the calm precision of a jaguar. One's about how you show up, the other's about how you walk through it. Style is fun, swagger is great, but your true power, that's in knowing who you are underneath the shine, and giving that animal the respect it deserves. If you got something out of this, go ahead and like the video, share it with your wildest friend, and subscribe for more animal-powered insight. We keep it quirky, honest, and always a little wild around here. Now here's your homework. Drop your aesthetic animal and your spirit animal in the comments. Let's see who's living their truth, and who's still figuring it out. No judgment, we've all been there. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time, keep your feathers fabulous and your instincts sharp.